Hey guys, hi, it's Anne. How are you? Come say hi. I hope everyone's having a good Saturday. I just wanted to share something with you guys that I see coming up a lot, and we're just like we're gearing up to go. We just got back. I'm in my jacket and stuff. We just ran a couple errands and we're getting ready to go down across the street here to an apple farm, and we're just gonna go do some stuff with the kids. But before I did that, I noticed a few things coming up, and it's been kind of coming up all week on my coaching calls with my clients in my program that people have been talking about this, and then it's just I see it in some other groups, and so I really just wanted to kind of step in here and give you guys a couple of tips. And what I see coming up is that a lot of people are having so much resistance to being visible online. So like posting on social media or doing Facebook Lives or sending out emails and just really engaging with your community and showing up and having visibility. I'm going to try to do this for you guys really quick. I'm going to give you a few tips here. I'm sure one of these things are going to resonate with you if you're not showing up and you're not being visible. And I want to give you a couple of quick tips before I head down across the street to the farm, our apple orchard farm down here with the kids. And we're going to go sit by the fire and just have a little bit of fun today. And before I do that, I want to share this with you because it's just something that I see coming up. So the first thing that I see coming up for people with being visible and showing up online and posting content is that you don't want to come off salesy and pitchy, desperate, pushy, right? This is an easy fix. I totally can resonate with this because I used to be the same way. I didn't want people to think that I was posting or sharing something out of, desperation, or I'm trying to make a sale, or I'm trying to sell something, or I'm just pushing my stuff on you. And a couple of things that you can do is really just stay focused on giving value. You don't always have to promote, so to speak. Just show up and give value. So a lot of people are like, I don't know what that looks like. I'm going to share with you in a minute just a couple of quick things that this could look like. But the first thing is when you're showing up online, have an intention to give value and not so much an intention to sell or to get a client, that type of energy, because it does come off in your content. It comes off in everything that you do, and people can they can feel that, they can get that, they can see that, and that could be off-putting for some people, and it's not going to feel good for you. Like, you don't really want to put time in creating content or doing a Facebook Live or a webinar or social media posts if all the intention behind it is, I got to get a client, I need someone to sign up for this, I need someone to buy my program, and you're just having that energy. So the first thing I recommend to you, if this resonates with you, the very first thing I recommend is change your intention to give value. Start to give some valuable content. I'll talk to you in just a second. I'll give you a few tips on what that might look like for you. The second thing is start having conversations. Social media is a great resource. It's a great tool to grow your business, to build community, and to get clients. But here's the thing. Social media is of no use if you're not being social. So one of the things you want to start doing is having conversations with people. Start showing up with the intention, hopefully you guys can see everything okay. Start showing up with the intention of having conversations with people. So look at the people that you have in your Facebook group. Look at the people that have connected with you on your Facebook page. Look at the people that have got on your email list. And each one of those people, each of them is a human being. They're a real person on the other side. So what you can start to do is treat them like that. Instead of them being just another number on your email list or another subscriber, or looking at them like just another member of your Facebook group, start to look at them as human beings because they're real people. And when you start to look at your email list and you start to look at the members in your Facebook group and you start to see them as human beings just like you instead of just a subscriber or member, you look at that in a whole different way. And each of those people could be a potential client. And so what your only intention and goal should be is to start building a relationship with them, start getting to know who they are, ask them questions, welcome them to your group, welcome them to your email list, into your community, start to build engagement, start to build relationships and have conversations. It's really no different than if you were to have a conversation with, a friend at a cafe, or you're going to go out with a friend and have a drink or a dinner, or you're going to go out with your significant other, or you're going to go on a date. Like, you have a conversation. So you conversate, you ask questions, you get to know each other, and you look at them as a human being, not like another person that you're going on a date with, or, this is like my fifth, girls' day out or something. You don't do that. You don't look at it that way. These are relationships. So you have to look at the people in your community the same way, and start to build a know, like, and trust with them. People aren't going to buy from you if they don't know, like, and trust you to begin with. So start building that right away the minute someone joins your community. Don't be afraid to ask questions and invite people to a call with you. The other thing is just be who you are. Just be you. So bring your uniqueness, your quirkiness, your personality, your values, your beliefs to the table right from the start. So, I don't know if you know my story, but I spent years, in this vicious cycle of trying to be anybody but myself, trying to be like everyone else and not expressing who I was and hiding that. And it doesn't grow your business. People want to know you because, like I said, the other people that you're trying to get to come into your community and the potential clients you're trying to create are human beings. They want communication. They want engagement. They want know, like, and trust. They want to build that. They want to know who you are. So you have to start doing that. The other thing is to serve people versus selling. So we're going to talk about that in a second. But that's the first thing. So if you don't want to be salesy, pitchy, promotey, desperate, those are the few steps right there. Give value, just be who you are, serve people, and start having conversations and building relationships. Number two, that the reason I see this coming up is also because you're not loving your activities, meaning you are doing what maybe people have told you have to do to grow your business or to market or be visible. And you're not doing things that you enjoy, that you love, that feel good. So instead, you feel like you're forcing yourself to do something, or you have to do it. Like, oh, I have to make these social media posts, or I have to go and do a Facebook Live, or I have to do this webinar, or I have to send this email. And it's all of this energy that you're just forcing things and you're pushing yourself to do stuff. And instead what happens is you come up with a lot of resistance because maybe you don't want to do Facebook Lives, or maybe you don't want to do a webinar. Maybe you don't want to, set up sales funnels. Maybe there's certain things that you're doing that you don't really want to do, and that's why you're not doing them, or you're doing them but they're not getting you a result, and you're feeling a lot of resistance around doing them. So for an example, I have a client who came into one of my programs, and she was really resistant to doing a webinar. She didn't want to do a webinar, and she, every time we talk about it, she would say, like, I just don't want to do a webinar, and I didn't do the outline yet, and I didn't create my slides, and we just kept coming up against this big resistance. And so I asked her, I said, let's talk about this, what's coming up for you. And what we found was she just didn't want to pre-record, or she didn't even want to do her webinar live with instant teleseminar. What she basically wanted to do, what felt good to her, she liked being able to see her members and have her members see her. So she didn't want to be hiding behind her computer just talking. And so she had a lot of resistance because for her that just didn't feel good to do a webinar like that. And so what we did was we said, well, what would feel good? If you're going to do a webinar, what would feel really good? And she's like, well, I would like for everybody to communicate on this webinar. I don't want to just talk and teach. I want to have conversation. I want them to see me. I want to see them. So you know what? We broke traditional rules, and she did a live Zoom webinar where people could come in and they could see her and she could see them, and actually open up the lines where everyone could talk and engage. She filled her one-on-one coaching program from that, generated her first $10,000, and grew her list tremendously. People were opting in like crazy. She got such good results from that. And all of the time before that, it was just a big resistance, not to doing a webinar, but the way that she was doing the webinar. You know, and I have other clients who come up against things like, I don't want to post on social media all day, and so we look at other ways for them to get themselves out there. I have clients who say, I don't want to do Facebook Live, it makes me nervous. You know, I'm afraid I'm going to make a mistake or whatever. And so what we do is we'll say, well, if you were going to do a Facebook Live, what would we need to do to make it feel really good and comfortable for you? And what we do is we just come up with new ways to do it. So you still have to show up. You got to put yourself out there and you got to stretch yourself, but you don't have to push and force things. You don't have to follow the rules, so to speak. You can do things your way. There's always a way to do something different to get the result that you want. So if you're coming up with any resistance around doing a Facebook Live or doing a webinar or a Facebook group challenge or opening your own Facebook group, that's one my clients have a huge thing around. And so there's different things that you can do to still get shit done, but feel good about it, to enjoy the process. Like, you should love your business, right? So for me, in the beginning of my business, I hated Facebook Lives, and I thought, I have to have everything perfect. I need to have a professional come in and record them. I need to have all this stuff in place. I've done Facebook Lives from my car. I've done them with my kids doing them with me because we're just hanging out. I've done them with my dog barking in the background sometimes, or my dog sitting beside me. I've done them outside. I've done them inside. I do them by myself, sometimes on my computer, sometimes on my phone. Sometimes I have good lighting, sometimes I don't. Right now I'm in a jacket. We're getting ready to go down to our local campground and our apple farm, and here I am just popping on doing this really quick with no preparation. And I enjoy that. I don't enjoy it when there's a lot of pressure and I feel like everything has to be so perfect. And if I run my business that way, then I end up not doing the work. So you can do this your way. The third and final thing I want to share with you, because here's the thing, if you don't enjoy the work you're doing, then you're not going to do it. So if there is something that you have to be doing, if you need to be doing Facebook Lives, if you need to do a webinar to grow your list, or if you want to do a Facebook challenge to provide value and build engagement and get people in your Facebook group to start engaging with you, then find a way to do it in a way that feels good and that you can enjoy, so that you don't come up against resistant blocks on doing it. Does that make sense? Okay, and then the third thing is you don't know what to say. So this is a huge one for my clients. A lot of the times my clients will come to me and they just don't know what to say. So they're like, I don't know what to share. I don't know what to say on Facebook Lives. I don't know what to say in my posts. What should I say? What should I do? What should I give? And I want you to remember that you're supposed to be building your business by design, by the way that feels good for you, that you like, so you can give and share whatever you want. Trying to be someone that you're not, and trying to overthink, oh, I should do it this way because that's what they're doing, and I should create this pretty PDF and that's what they're doing, and oh, I can't post, I need a webinar if I'm going to post. Like, if you think you have to have all these things, you're never going to get started. You're just always going to think you have to have all these things to get started. So, number one, share your story. Tell people who you are. Remember, it goes back to building relationships. People aren't going to buy from you anyway if they don't know, like, and trust you. So the best way to do that is share a little behind the scenes of your life, who you are. Everyone in my community, for the most part, knows about, my childhood, my story from going around 8, 9 different foster homes, being molested, abused, beaten, locked in rooms, forced to eat my own vomit. Like, if you've been around and following me for a while, I have a pretty strong story. And I didn't share it for the first 5 years of my business because I was actually ashamed of it, and I thought people would, judge me or think that, she can't help me because of what she's been through. And so once I started sharing that, it was a game changer because people could see how, wow, she might be able to help me if she's been able to go through all of that and then overcome it. The other thing too with that is people trusted me, because for me to be that vulnerable with people I didn't know, it helped people understand how genuine I was and how much integrity I was in. And so that built a lot of relationships just like this. You can share tips, share strategies. I'm a marketing expert. Sales is definitely my thing. So one of the things that I always talk about is I'll share 3 tips to get more calls on your calendar, or 2, 3, 4, 5 ways to overcome objections that come up, or a couple of things that you can go do to really prepare for a sales conversation so you can knock it out of the park. I'll share tips, strategies, inspiration. I'll ask people questions so they'll start engaging back and give me some feedback, and we can engage back and forth, right? Those are things that you can just start to share. You don't have to have necessarily a website and a sales page, or even an opt-in at this point. If you're looking to just, build relationships, you can generate revenue, then just start engaging, start communicating, start having conversations with the people you're already connected with, and start there to build some momentum. Once you generate cash flow, then you can look at ways to put sales funnels in place and Facebook ads, and maybe have someone come in, and an admin or something, to come in and help you manage, engagement in your groups or and with your email list or whatever. But you got to get started somewhere, and if you don't start somewhere, you're just not going to do anything. So the other thing too is do your market research. Market and survey your community like your life depends on it, because I will tell you this, your business does depend on that. If you don't know what your ideal clients want so much to go away that they're willing to pay for it, then you're going to have a hard time creating content, because you're not going to know what to say to people, and what you say is probably not the way they describe it. And I had to learn that the hard way, because I thought the way that I described what I was challenged with, or what I thought my clients were challenged with, is how they felt. And when I did market research and surveying, I found they use totally different words and language to describe their pain and challenges. And I never knew that. Had I not done the market research, I would have just kept talking to myself. And so to stand out and put yourself out there and actually attract people who want to work with you, people who think you might be able to help them, you have to know their language, and you have to know what their problem is before you can provide them a solution, aka your offer. And so there's that little bit of work. And I tell my clients, 5 to 7 days of market research is a great, it's enough time to get started. It's enough time to collect enough data to create content and offers around, like that. And then after that, you just keep doing it every day. And the way that you research and the way that you poll and survey your audience every day is ask questions and create content and see what their feedback is. But if you're not engaging with people and you're just kind of spitting random stuff out because you don't know what to do, you're not going to get any results, you're not going to get feedback, and you're still just not going to get any information, which means you're just going to keep going in that circle. Okay, so those are my tips for you if you're having some resistance to showing up. The other thing is just do it. When it feels uncomfortable, when it feels like something you don't want to do because of, fear or doubt or whatever, if it feels like, something that you're nervous to do, or you just don't want to show up, those are usually the best times. Like the best times, the most success I've had in my business is when I have randomly, put something out there, like with no preparation at all, or when I was resistant doing something really bad and then I just put myself in the game and I did it anyway. Those are the best times, because you actually step into your best self at that time, because you're not overthinking it, you're not pre-planning and premeditating, you're just doing it. And usually your best stuff comes out then, and you really speak from your heart versus speaking from a notepad of notes that you just took from other people. You're tapping into your intuition and what you really want to say and what you want to share, the message you want to get across. And that does make a total difference in the results you get back. So if you're feeling some resistance, take a look at these things I just talked about. See what parts of those resonate with you. Let me know in the comments what comes up for you with this, like what part of this resonates with you. Maybe it's all of these things. Maybe you don't want to be salesy and pushy and desperate. Maybe you don't know what to say, and maybe you're not in love with the way that you're showing up, and so you're having a lot of resistance. Maybe you're all of those things, right? But tell me in the comments what part of this resonates with you. And I would love to provide you with some tips and strategies to overcome this, because it doesn't need to be this way. Business is supposed to be fun. Entrepreneurship is fun. Not saying there's not hard work and bad days, but like when you're in your business working, it should feel good and it should be a lot of fun, and it shouldn't be a struggle. You shouldn't have a hard time sharing tips and strategies or doing a Facebook Live talking about what you love to talk about, unless you're not talking about what you love to talk about. So if you're looking for more help with getting really laser focused on what activities you need to be focusing on that are going to feel really good for you and get you a return on your investment, if you want to really truly master your sales process so you can bring in and attract more clients through your messaging, through your free content, your paid content, fill your calendar with ideal buyers, start to fill up your programs, and just see a momentum, a consistent, steady momentum of engagement, results, and sales. The Sales Rebel is open right now. It's early bird pricing for just a few more days. Now is the time to jump in. I'm going to drop the link above. It's literally $250 a month right now, which is the lowest price we've ever offered it at. Got some really cool bonuses. There's over 30 women, amazing women already in the Facebook group. They're all talking, they're building some engagement, they're communicating, they're getting their buddy partners, they're getting ready to have an epic blowout end of the year. So if this is speaking to you, the link is above. I'll drop a link up there too if you want to book a sales call with me, where we can talk about what you have going on in your business and if the Sales Rebel is your next best step to blow up your sales and marketing. My kids are ready to go, so I am going to head out. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Let me know how I can support you. Drop some feedback in the comments. If you're interested in the program, the link is above, or you can book a call with me. I've opened up some space. Happy to answer any of your questions. Have a good Saturday, and be sure to be visible and showing up. Let me know how I can help you do that. Have a good day.